arts, entertainment and lifestyle. ChaKra TV. It never ends.
Talks on ChaKra TV. Today on the show I have with me a man who needs no introduction for the entertainment industry in Sri Lanka, one and only Shafi. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you very much.
It's been a long overdue interview. Finally we are here. Right, to start things off, Shafi, this love affair with the guitar, when did it all begin?
In school.
Okay.
Yes.
So when was that?
I was in grade 9.
Okay.
I was in Lithia. I was in St. Peter's all throughout my life, but I went to Lithia to do my British exams, and there we mixed with girls and boys in the class. So, and then one of my friends had so it was always about showing off to the girls, no?
Yeah.
So one of my friends had he was a guitarist, one of the classmates, Randy, and he used to play all the time, bring the guitar and show off, and all the girls around him. So I was like very jealous. So I told him, hey, it's no big deal, anybody can do that. He said, you can't play the guitar, Shafi. I said, I can. I never touched it. So he ended up holding a bet with me to play a song tomorrow. He said, you come tomorrow and play the song. I said, I'll come tomorrow and play any song you want me to.
That's it.
Yeah, and then the next day.
Did you play?
Yes, I played it.
So you learned it by yourself?
Yeah, I've been turning to my friends like Suresh De Silva, who grew up with me, and told him, man, I'll play the guitar. They're like, what?
Okay.
Now. Okay.
So how long has it been now with this, with your affair with the guitarist?
About
3-4 decades?
So 1987, 1988, that's, I don't know, about 33 years.
Yeah.
How much is that? No?
Yeah.
Somewhere there.
So yeah, 3.5 decades.
Yeah, something like that.
So when did you exactly take it to the next level? I mean, like learning it professionally?
It just became an addiction, Minol. I just couldn't put it down. And then I picked it up for this bed thingy and then played the song. And then I was I just got so addicted to it. I couldn't put it down for hours. I just practiced like 8 hours, 9 hours a day, non-stop, and hung around with people who were musicians, made friends with bands, hung around with bands. Musicians, just went everywhere. There's a guitar, and just got completely mesmerized with that whole thing. I don't know what really happened. Yeah.
So are you happy with whatever happened that all these past years?
Yeah, I'm still doing it.
Yeah, still rocking it. So when did you exactly?
I'm still addicted to it.
Yeah, it's an addiction forever.
It pretty much is.
So when did you? Take it as a profession to be a musician?
Well, almost as quickly as I picked up the guitar, because in school, for me to take a girl out, for a carnival and stuff, I needed money and stuff. So then opportunities were opening up. My friends, music friends calling and saying, hey, tomorrow we have a gig down south, you want to come play Calypso with a hat, and I'll give you like, 4,800 or 5,000 bucks or something, which is a lot of money at the time. I was thinking, yeah, let's go.
Why not?
So then learned a few songs and started playing professionally. And then the guy who was teaching me, Suresh De Silva, he was already playing in a band. And then when I went and told him to teach me to play the guitar, then he realized that there might be something there. So then he took me into the band that he was playing in.
So that's the first band?
That was the first band, Electric Dreams.
Okay. So after that, how did this whole wildfire thing begin? I mean, everybody knows that you're notoriously famous from Wildfire, Shafi and the Wildfire. So how did that happen?
So Derek and I were playing together with Purple Rain for a while, and then that was in the 90s. And but Derek and CJ got together. Derek and I went and we decided to start the band, but then I backed off on Wildfire, and CJ and Derek got together and formed the band with Joe Thambi. And no, actually originally it was Benji who played bass guitar. And Primal on
He's
guitar,
from Flame.
I think, yes. So that went on for a few months until I joined them. Yeah. So Wildfire is like, I guess, all four of us are rockers.
Yeah.
Played in pop bands all our life. So put in a box, get a chance to play a little bit, but still go back into your pop block. You can't. There's no rock band.
Yeah.
It's a pop band. So we had a little bit of frustration. So when we got together, we decided to just use backstage amps, which no one used those days. I mean, you know, just too noisy. And acoustic drums. Everybody's using electronic drums at the time. We went just straight acoustic guitars plugged with amplifier. Turn it up as loud as you can and have fun.
Shafi, now you've been in the entertainment industry for a long time, and you toured as well. How do you see this comparison? Like, let's talk about before the pandemic. How do you see the comparison here in Sri Lanka as well as in other countries? How do you see the difference between the entertainment scenarios? Especially for live entertainment, like bands.
A lot of musicians suffered because there was no work, and bands and sound systems and transportation vehicles and sound crews, and so everyone was suffering. Yeah, so all the big shows stopped. So a lot of big bands, like, you know, when I spoke to Rajitha from Misty and even Nalin from Marian, was saying that, you know, the sounds is stored in a room.
Yeah, no work.
And Rajitha had a big repair also because some rats had eaten something and stuff, you know. And he was like, man, and so like Gypsy, such big bands, that kind of band suffered, of course. Big downfall for musicians, there's no doubt about it. Gave time for musicians to sit home and practice, some of them. Some of them gave up.
Yeah, some. How did that affect you?
Well, whatever. I practiced about 20 hours a day, and this went on for about 10 years. In the sense, every day of the 10 years I didn't practice, but then I'd go on for like 3-4 months practicing 20 hours a day and sleeping for and overwork my thumb. And I had a situation where my thumb was stiff and I couldn't put it down. The nerves are damaged. I go to sleep like that, so I can't sign my name because I can't bring the thumb down. Can't hold the pick, so I ended up playing like a retard. So then, through a friend of mine, I found an acupuncture doctor.
Okay.
I have never done that before, but then I went and met him. Then he said, "You have repetitive strain injury, Shafi. When you keep doing something too much without breaking, there's damage that's done. It has to be fixed." He said, "First of all, I want you to stop playing the guitar completely.
Okay.
COVID time, anyway, nowhere to play."
Yeah, good time.
I said, "Good time." I said, "Okay." And stopped for a year and a half and treated my hand, and he fixed it.
So after the pandemic, now everything seems to be getting up and normal here in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts now? You'll be touring as well.
Yeah.
So how do you see the difference between Maldives and here in Sri Lanka? How has it improved, especially after the pandemic?
Maldives doesn't have any problems. They're back on track.
Yeah.
As far as I can see, their hotels are booked till July next year. And Mali looks like it's doing fine. Only we are suffering here.
Any reasons, as you think?
Of course, we were robbed by the Rajapakshas, and the politicians don't know what they're doing, and of course, and they still want respect from the people, so it's getting a little tight now, no?
How was let's talk about the Aragale, since you mentioned Rajapaksa and the politicians. Were you part of the Aragale?
Well, I wasn't here when the Aragale was going on, but I'm all for correcting the country, for sure, yeah.
Can we actually correct the country?
If the people get together the way the Sri Lankan people got together, it freaked out everyone in the world. No one had ever seen something like that. Now that will scare the poop out of any president and politician that comes in here hereafter. that when the people get together, all hell's gonna break loose.
Yeah.
Good. Very good. Good outcome. I love it.
Yeah, right. From politics to we come back to music again. Now, Shafi, there are so many live events happening in Sri Lanka,
Yeah.
especially from a band's perspective. How do you see the improvement from those era that when you started back then up to right now? How do you see the comparison? Have we improved? Are we up to the international standards when it comes to events?
You mean how bands are performing?
Yeah.
Well, to be international standard, it takes a lot of work. Some bands might have it, some bands might need to work on it, but music has changed, bands have changed, the music itself, I mean, has changed, and it's been generations now. So when we play, like everyone says, wow, it's that vintage sound, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's that old sound. That's gone now, it's a newer sound. So there's a lot of good bands out there.
Are you also adapting to the new sound? I mean, it's getting more electric by the day. The music is getting more electric sounding. So are you also, as a band or as a person, are you also adapting to new music styles?
Yeah, and you know, my daughter and I were playing together, and she sings a lot of the new stuff. So I'm also doing a lot of the new stuff. So you can't be stuck also, no?
Yeah.
So you gotta move on.
Yeah. So as a musician now, you're more focused on playing the guitar.
Yes.
Have you ever tried solo singing, like one of your originals?
You mean when I perform?
Yeah.
There was one time I was forced to by some nice people in the audience sing one of my songs, but usually I don't.
Any reason?
Because
You're more of a player.
in the sense, for me to perform an original song to a bunch of people sitting and drinking, you know, they'd like to hear something they already know. If they have heard my song and if I had put it on the radio and if there's a chance that they would have heard it, then it's worthwhile playing. For me to introduce new songs to people who are drinking, I don't know about that.
Okay, fine. So, have you ever tried doing one of your originals as a solo singer?
Yeah, that's what I meant. I tried it once.
Yeah. What was the name of the song?
It was called Innocence.
You didn't put it out.
No.
Any
I
reason why?
didn't.
It just doesn't feel right.
I don't know, it still hasn't fallen in place. I tried, I recorded some of it at the Iraj studio, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, Raj and I are good buddies, so...
See, a lot of the musicians, especially people who are in the bands, they don't like to come up with their own original songs. Any reason why?
Because, Minol, to be really honest, I don't think it's that good enough for it to be, you know, so great like that. It's not the Gangnam Style still.
Yeah.
It's not as big as that.
Okay, right. Generally speaking, what do you think about the Western music bands in Sri Lanka?
Very good. Western music bands in Sri Lanka are obsolete. The Western bands are playing Oriental music.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we were back in the day, Western industry was Western musicians.
Yeah.
Boys and girls from good schools, with good English, from good families, and they would join bands and get along really nice and talk in English and sing all the English stuff and stuff. And, it was real Western stuff. Now the Western bands are all playing Sinhalese music in clubs and everywhere. I noticed that. Now, the strange part about it is that everyone is going to the passport office and trying to get a passport and leave this place.
Yeah.
Okay? But while they're here, none of the schools will teach you any English.
Yeah.
Okay? And then none of the bands will play any English music. They're also playing Sinhalese.
Yeah.
But then they want to go abroad and work. When they go abroad, they'll be like a bat out of hell. Like they won't know what to do.
Yeah.
They won't know how to talk and get to some place. You know? But the education of English is really important. And I see that's diminishing. It's slowly disappearing, even from music. Yeah. Unless you really want to stay here and you want to work in a government kantoru, super. But everybody wants to leave. But nobody wants to know what's going on and learn the language of the world or anything. You know.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the Oriental band music scene in Sri Lanka?
Wow, that's huge. lot of amazing stuff happening there. Yeah.
So, how would you compare the two band scene back in Maldives and here in Sri Lanka? Who's better?
Oh Christ. We are. It's not that we're better than anybody else. It's just that we're different. You know, we have like.
What's the difference?
I'll tell you what the difference is.
Yeah.
The difference is we have 22 million people here. They have, I think, luckily 60, 70,000 people. I don't know. So it's a smaller population, and you know, we have like amazing stars like Mara puts out amazing songs. You know, Mara is incredible. Bhatin Santosh revolutionized all this stuff. You know, singers like Amal Pereira, really nice stuff. Love listening to these guys. You know, even though I don't really listen to Sinhalese music, I have to be honest. I don't sit and listen to Sinhalese music because I'm too busy listening to my English music. But I hear them here and there, and it's amazing. Yeah, really world-class stuff. Some of it.
Speaking of individual artists, we all know that Yohani and Manik is a song that became #1 in the international charts. What are your thoughts?
Amazing. That's the Gangnam style I'm talking about.
Yeah.
She got one, no? Yeah, until you get that, it's useless you writing songs.
But somebody has to write it, to get there.
Yeah.
So we are getting there, I feel, personally. So slowly we will start producing.
Luck might come to any musician.
Yeah.
It will come. If it's going to come, it will come. That song will come
Yeah.
into your head, and you know.
Now, talking about Wildfire, and also during Wildfire days, I mean, you had a couple of other bands as well. If I remember rightly, one is Gravity.
Gravity.
Right. So why do we see a lot of bands getting formed up and then again, a couple of months down the line they just get disbanded? We can't keep one band for a long time.
That's why Wildfire is still together. Everyone in the band is another band.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, when we get together, it's different. It's different. The chemistry of a band is a sound. It's not about the notes you're playing. The chemistry is the togetherness of music. It's called musical chemistry, which is very hard to find. When the four of us get together, no matter what stupid song we're playing, there's chemistry in it, and we can hear it. It sounds different to all other bands. So we have chemistry, and that comes from #1, togetherness in a band, like a brotherhood, which you don't find. Look after each other, cover for each other, always care for each other, know the person's weaknesses and stuff, and always behind. If the four of us, if we see each other, anywhere, we go, oh man, what's happening? Derek, what's happening? Koba. After that, we be with them. We wouldn't even want to be with anybody else. We're so connected like that. But nowadays, bands, I don't see that. When they take a break, they go in all different directions. They only talk to each other on stage. That does hardly. So the music sounds monotonous already. The chemistry comes from a different place, like the band Stigmata. When Jackson and Andrew and them were playing, like the Silent Chaos Serpentine album, the chemistry, Machan, it's louder than the music itself. Fabulous. Can't find it now.
What do you think about the rock music industry in Sri Lanka? There are so many rock bands who's doing really well in some of the
that's the
countries.
thing. Still can't find that chemistry in there. But I haven't had a chance to listen to much bands actually since I've been away, so I can't really complain. But dying to CJ, Derek, Koba and I, we love to listen to a band that has chemistry, and if there is something like that, we'll be mesmerized. We are waiting for that. We just want to see that.
Speaking of more mesmerized stuff, what plans do we have for Wildfire in the future?
Well, so going our separate ways for about a year.
Back to their own bands, Koba, CJ and Derek.
Yes, and Koba, CJ, Mintaka, and Derek is doing he's going to the Maldives too to play for a few months. And then I was going to the resort there. And
Okay. So in this journey of more than 3+ decades in the entertainment industry, Shafi, who do you have to thank the most?
I have huge list. I can't.
Let's just go for
So,
three.
First of all,
Yeah.
it's Suresh De Silva
Okay.
who started me off on the guitar
Mm.
in school. And then I was playing and trying to improve, and then I went and watched the Ecstasy Band with Avril Divelli and them singing. And this guitarist called Dulip Chammugam, he was 6 foot tall. He had hair like Brian May, and he would take the guitar, swing it around his neck, and stand on top of the drum bass and play solos on top of the bass drum. And play solos and rip the guitar there. Who is this guy? I went and said, please teach me. So I followed him for about 3 years, every day in his house learning from him. So he was there, and then I got a little bit better. He showed me how to about the scales and the theory of the guitar and stuff. So I learned so much from him. He's in LA, and he came back, I think. Now. And then after that, Russell Fernando. I was playing with Aisha in the team, and then Malcolm took me in the band. And then that time, Russell Fernando heard of me, and he took me into the Colombo scene to play pro arrangement.
Okay.
So the star-studded lineup there, 7 people in the band, all fabulous musicians. So from there, then Jeffrey joined the band, and Jeffrey took me to Purple Rain and stuff. I played with Benji and Aquarius. I played with Mirage. Yeah. So all those bands had very senior musicians that I learned like an ocean of stuff from them. Learned, got gifted, like Kevin Almeida when he first met me. He was in 89 or 90 or something. After we finished some concert, we played with him. I didn't have a guitar, I was playing on rented guitars. He had a Swiss guitar, he brought it from Switzerland. He came to the room and kept the guitar at my feet and walked away. Gifted it to me, so I played with that for over a decade and a half. So like that, so much. And then Jeffrey, who's the king, learned so much. Joe Tamimuttu is untouchably musical. No one in this side of the world is as musical as that. So many people learned so much from Mirage, from Milan Donald, Benji, Kevin, Kumar De Silva. I don't know.
List goes on and on.
It's a big list.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about your daughter, who is also in the entertainment industry and she's singing with you. How does it feel to have your own daughter singing next to you?
Yeah, that's a knockout. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really got me completely baffled. I can't thank God enough for that one. Actually.
Was she teached into it, or she's born
that's
with
the
it?
that's the thing, because even my other son is 18 and my youngest is 13. They're still in school.
Okay.
So, but even to them, I tell them, you do your studies first.
Yeah.
That is important. Even to Yana, I said that. But to none of them did I say, you have to be a guitarist or you have to be a musician. You have to sing. No, you can't.
Yeah.
They can give something to the world of their own. If I lock them up into what I want them to give, okay, they probably give. But there must be something much bigger than that.
Yeah.
So you got to wait and see. So even Yana, I never forced her. Never forced her. She just kept singing, kept coming behind me. Coming from since she was a small girl, coming to gigs and singing a few songs, and and then she said, I want to work with you, Dad.
And it's been a journey ever since.
Yeah, and even now she refuses to play with anybody else if I'm not there. That's it. So I can't explain how that feels to a father.
I mean, usually in Sri Lanka, we know the culture. So you don't like, as a parent, you don't like your son or daughter be involved in the entertainment industry. I mean, was there any restrictions? No.
From my parents.
No, from your side to your kids.
No, we look after them like our eyes. We think that the only thing, the best thing that the parents can give their children is to keep their eyes on them. So we do that. They can't move. So now my eldest daughter is 23. Okay, now she has room to breathe. She's an adult. But my 13-year-old daughter, she's under my eyes. My son is 18, still under my eyes, careful, So that's how that is.
Yeah. Okay, one final question before I wrap things up. Any words of wisdom or any tips and tricks that you can give the young guitarist who's coming into the trade?
Practice really hard and practice long hours, and be careful of what happened to me. RSI, repetitive strain injury, is a...
Acupuncture.
is a lifetime damage.
Mm.
Yeah, I read on the internet no one had recovered.
Yeah.
They had to give up the instrument. So always do a little warm up and stop for a bit sometimes.
Yeah. And let's talk about your classes before we wrap it up.
Okay.
Do you still conduct classes?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even after you leave the country, you will be conducting it
Yeah,
online?
they're all online.
How can they contact you on?
They can, if you want guitar lessons, you can contact me on my phone number.
Okay. Or can they get through to you on your social media handles?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
Yeah.
if anybody is interested in learning the guitar, you can get a hold of him on his social media platforms. Right. Thank you so much, Shafi. It was a pleasure having you on the show.
Superb. It is
And
nice finally catching up
Finally,
with
we
you,
made
you know,
it.
yeah.
Yes. So we'll talk to you again. Until then, you have yourself a good one.